Let's take a look at some interesting critical reasoning questions today. We'll look at a couple of critical reasoning weekend questions from the recent official guides. Now, they rake up a storm whenever they are brought up, furiously debated upon, and still people walk away unconvinced of the official answer. Now, also the two questions seem to be similar, but their answers do not match. And, this creates further trouble. So today we will attempt to clear all your doubts regarding these two questions. Pause the video here and go through the first question properly, then restart when you are ready. Now let's think about what it tells us. In the 1960s, surveys of Florida's alligator population indicated that the population was dwindling rapidly. So in 1960s, we found out that the population of alligators was going down. It was dwindling rapidly. All right, so then there might have been a worry that they'll go extinct. So then hunting alligators was banned. So then at that time, a ban came into effect. All right. Now, by early 1990s, the population had recovered. So then by early 1990s, which maybe I would say is 1991 or 1992 something, the population had recovered enough, and that is why then they lifted the ban. All right, so now hunting was allowed again. It was a little restricted, but it was allowed again. Restricted hunting was allowed. Now, over the course of the 1990s, which means from, let's say, 1990 to 2000, in this decade, what happened that the reports of alligators appearing on golf courses and lawns increased dramatically. So during this decade, over the course of this decade, the reports of alligators on lawns, etc., increased. So people saw alligators on the lawns. The number of sightings, the reports of the number of sightings, they increased dramatically. All right. So these are all our premises. They are our facts given to us. Now, based on this, the author is concluding that therefore, in spite of whatever alligator hunting went on, so in spite of hunting being allowed, because in early 1990s, the ban was lifted and the hunting was allowed. In spite of that, the alligator population must have increased significantly over the decade of 1990s. So since the reports of sightings were increasing in that decade from 1990s to 2000, so he says that the population of the alligators must have been then increasing as well. Irrespective of whatever hunting was going on, the population would have still been increasing. This is our conclusion. Okay? All right. Which of the following, if true, most seriously weakens the conclusion, which means that we have to say that it may not have been the increase in the population of the alligators that was responsible for the increasing number of the reports of sightings. All right. Now, option A, the human population of Florida increased significantly during the 1990s. Look, now there are two things involved in a sighting. What are the two things? One, there is a human involved, a human who sees the alligator, and then there is an alligator involved, right? So now, because the number of sightings, the reports of the sightings, number of sightings was increasing, we are concluding that this is because the number of alligators is increasing. So since there are more alligators, people are, seeing more of them every now and then. Now, the flip side is that it is also possible that the number of humans are increasing. After all, a sighting involves a human looking at an alligator, and of course, an alligator looking at a human. But we're not taking that aspect. That's fine. But there are these two people involved, and if either one of them increases a number, it increases the probability of a sighting. So why are we concluding that the number of alligators is increasing, right? It could be that the number of humans are increasing, and that is why whenever an alligator appears, there are a few humans around to see. Let's say in the previous days, let's say in 1990, there were not too many humans around. So then when, let's say early in the morning, if an alligator would come onto a golf course, there wouldn't be people around to see. But since the population has increased so much, now there are people arriving maybe early in the morning as well. And that is why now there are more reports of sightings, right? So then the number of sightings could have been increased by either one of the two, either the increase in the human population or the increase in the number of alligators. So that then my conclusion weakens. If actually the human population is the one that has increased a whole lot, then the number of alligators may not have increased, right? It does create a doubt in my mind. It does weaken my conclusion. So that is why option A certainly makes sense. Let's look at B. The hunting restrictions apply to commercial as well as private hunters. This is irrelevant, of course. We don't care who's hunting, whether commercial or private hunters. It is out of context for our argument, right? Now, the number of sightings of alligators in lakes and swamps increased greatly in Florida during the 1990s. All right. Now, what are we talking about? We are talking about reports of alligators appearing on golf courses and lawns increased dramatically. Now, did the number of sightings in, let's say, lakes and swamps increase greatly? That again is none of our business. And well, even if they did increase greatly, that kind of works in favor of my conclusion, because I'm saying that the population of the alligators increased, and if we could see more alligators in lakes and swamps, it kind of makes sense, right? Then it does, in a way, in whatever little way, it does support my conclusion. So it's certainly not a weakener. So C is also gone. Now D, throughout the 1990s, selling alligator products was more strictly regulated than hunting was. Now, again, this is absolutely irrelevant. And now, which alligator products, and we don't really care about that. All we're saying is that despite of whatever hunting that was going on, the number of alligators was still increasing. All right, E. Most of the sightings of alligators on golf courses and lawns in the 1990s occurred at times at which few people were present on those golf courses and lawns. Now, notice very carefully over here, this option says most of the sightings of alligators occurred at times when there were few people on the golf courses. Say, for example, as I said, maybe early in the morning at 5 o'clock, right? Or maybe late in the evening. Let's say 8 p.m. So maybe alligators come out of water, at dawn or at dusk. It doesn't matter. It says most of the sightings occurred at those times when there were few people. So it's not like the lawns were crowded at the time when alligators appeared. They appeared only at times when there were few people. But listen to this. Once again, it says most of the sightings happened at that time. It is irrelevant to our argument. It does not say that most of the reports claim that the sightings happened at that time. Yeah, and this point is going to be quite interesting, because in the next question we'll see how the option is framed, because of which it becomes the correct answer. Here we are given that the sightings take place at a time when there were few people. Right? We're not saying that these people claimed that they saw an alligator. We're saying that the sightings took place. That means the people actually saw the alligator, but they saw it at a time when there were not too many people around. So it could have been those times when there are relatively few people on the lawns or the golf courses, but it doesn't matter, isn't it? It's absolutely irrelevant to our argument. So then again, E is not the answer. Of course, as we said, then A is the answer over here. Now let's look at question 2. So pause the video, go through it properly, and when you're ready, then restart. So what does it say? A farmer tells us that many people have claimed to have seen a mountain lion. And then while mountain lions were thought to have been driven out of this region, there is no reason for people to lie, right? So then, therefore, so this is his conclusion, the farmer's conclusion. Therefore, local wildlife managers should begin to urgently address the mountain lion's presence. So basically, he's saying that since many people have claimed to have seen a mountain lion in the recent times, and since there is no reason for people to lie, so then that means that a mountain lion is here, there it is present, and that is why the wildlife managers should begin to urgently address the problem. Now we need to weaken the farmer's argument. What is the farmer's argument? Pretty much what he's saying is that there is a mountain lion here, so please start addressing the problem, right? How can we weaken it? We can say that, well, there isn't a mountain lion, right? We can try to create a doubt about the presence of the mountain lion. So that is what we have to find, an option that helps say that, well, there may not actually be a mountain lion present in the region. Okay, so then let's look at each option. Now, A says farmers in the suburban outskirts mostly raise cattle and hogs, which, when fully grown, are generally not attacked by mountain lions. Now, here it says that mountain lions don't normally attack cattle and hogs which are fully grown. Well, it doesn't have anything to do with our argument, right? We are discussing whether a mountain lion is present in the region or not. The damage that it can or may not do is not none of our business, so it's out of scope for us. So we can pretty much eliminate this. Now, B. Mountain lions are dissimilar in size and color to other wild animals found near the suburban outskirts. Now, if anything, it strengthens what the farmer is saying in some way. Why? Because it's saying that mountain lions are quite distinctive. They are different in size and color. So it's not like people mistook some other animal for a mountain lion, right? So that is why it certainly doesn't weaken our argument, the farmer's argument, that is. If anything, it kind of supports the farmer's argument. So it's certainly not our answer either. Now, option C. Now, this is the interesting one. No person who claimed to have seen a mountain lion. Now, do you see how it is different from our previous option in question 1, which said that no sighting happened so all sightings took place at a time when there were few people. It did not say that the people who claimed to have seen an alligator, they did it at a time when there were few people present. So then the two options are quite different, right? Here he says no person, the author says no person who claimed to have seen a mountain lion. So the author is saying that the person who was claiming to have seen, that means he's already doubting whether the person actually did see a mountain lion, right? It says no person who claimed to have seen a mountain lion had anyone else with them at the purported sighting. So he's saying there was no one along with that person who claimed to have seen a mountain lion. Again, in our previous question, it said that there were few people. Few people, there could be 1, 2. It's not necessary that a person was alone. And anyway, they were talking about actual sighting. They were not talking about reports of sighting or claims of sighting. Right? Here, we're talking about claims of sighting, who claim to have seen a mountain lion. So now, we are creating a doubt in the mind of the farmer. Let's say we are saying that, all right, so you're saying that many people have claimed to have seen a mountain lion, but then these people who claimed to see a mountain lion, they were always alone. They never had anyone else with them, right? So this is far, far stronger, right? So that is why it certainly does make sense, and it certainly does weaken the farmer's conclusion. Okay, D. There have been no regional reports in the past year of mountain lions migrating to the area. This is irrelevant whether how the regional reports are made, are they accurate, who makes them, doesn't matter, right? Whether the reports were there or not doesn't matter. The point is the mountain lion there or not? That is what we are discussing. Okay, E. Recent surveys show that more than half of the people in the region report that they have never seen a mountain lion before. Now, this is what makes people fall. This is the option that they feel is the correct answer in case C is not the correct answer. What does it exactly say? It says recent surveys show that more than half of the people. So let's say if this is the entire population, it says that more than half of the people, let's say these people, they have of the area, they have never seen a mountain lion before. All right. But then it does not say that most of the claims have come from this particular region, right? It does not. We don't know that from in which region, whether in this region or whether in this region, we don't know in which region do those people lie who have claimed to see a mountain lion, right? What if the people who have claimed to see a mountain lion, they normally lie in this region and maybe one or two over here, doesn't matter. But we don't know, isn't it? So we cannot say that since the people had not seen a mountain lion before, so they didn't know what they were talking about, because we don't know in which group they lie, right? Do they lie in this group who had seen a mountain lion before, or do they lie in this group who had not seen a mountain lion before? We do not know. And that is why this is not a good weakener. Yeah, it doesn't weaken our conclusion. We need to be given more data for this to weaken our conclusion. Now, but option C, it does weaken our conclusion, is it does sow some seeds of doubt in our mind that these people were claiming, but they were always alone. Did they actually see a mountain lion? Well, not necessary. So that is why out of the given 5 options, certainly C is the best answer. Yeah, and now you see, I hope you see how it is different from our question 1. Yeah. So that's all for now. We'll see you again soon.